Today we're starting off at a pond full of seagulls. This little pond with the feeding seagulls contains little fish, krasna perka, which is the common rudd. You can see these little fish living happily in that pond, which is right next to the reactors 5 and 6, which you can see here. With cranes, a collapsed crane there. And today we're going to climb up to the very roof of reactors 5 and 6. Here's the map. So we're located at reactors 5 and 6. This is the area in an enlarged view. And right now we're standing at that pond of water, which you can see here with the collapsed crane. And we're gonna move through the machine hall and make our way into and up onto reactors 5 and 6, which you can see here. This is the machine hall. You can see a very high ceiling. Lots of stuff scattered around here. It's getting more and more as they are actually demolishing these buildings.
Ach, du bist so. Da brauche ich auch nicht Englisch reden, wa?
You can see some kind of pitfalls at some spots, but it's not too bad. Just move in one end, move out the other end. There's some holes in the floor sometimes where the concrete gave in to the weight of whatever it was bearing. And some kind of train tracks. Another pitfall at those tracks, at those rails. And then we're already moving through the machine hall and coming out the other end. Not too much of a journey in here, but well, the whole trip has only just started. Don't see much worse than these pitfalls here. Time to put on the GoPro camera and prepare for moving inside the main reactor building. I was still messing with the GoPro as well as the headlamp, so that produced a lot of crackling noise. That's why I removed the audio here. Nothing interesting to hear. But as we step into the building, I'm pretty much done. And using my headlamp as well as the GoPro. So here's audio again, which is just footsteps. Apparently the microphone of the GoPro 3 is quite bad, but I don't have an external microphone. Anyway, I used the other camera as well, so don't worry too much about this. There it is. Much better audio. And it has night vision. My Sony camera luckily has night vision, which proved to be very helpful in this area. And we're stepping into the staircase, slowly making our way up to whatever there may be awaiting us. Wondering where the rest of our group went off to, but we'll find them. Walking the stairs, I didn't pay too much attention to the camera, so here's the GoPro view again. You can see it's just, well, very dark of course. And here we met our group again, luckily. Messing with my headlamp again. Moving right along. You can see a lot of obstacles scattered all around. Sometimes I also find odd holes in the floor, all of a sudden at random. So it's very important to always be 100% focused when walking through here. Switching to GoPro view, you can see it's just a random ladder or something on the floor. Some kind of holes. The stairs look pretty used up as well. You pretty much have to watch your step on any step that you take here. Reactors 5 and 6 were still being built as reactor 4 blew up, so these buildings were never completed obviously. Same as the cooling towers, which I visited in my previous video. I was inside the one that was pretty much finished, but right next to it there's an unfinished cooling tower, which we will be able to see from the roof of the reactors 5 and 6 that we're climbing right now. And as we make our way further and further up, finally There's some amount of light coming through the wall. The pitfall, just before that. Don't fall into there.
Don't fall into this.
Finally some light. And a quite good view as well, thanks to this hole in the reactor wall. And what we can see here is, yes, we are very, very close to reactor 4, and left of it is the new safe confinement, the new sarcophagus. And here my teammate was just a little bit too much of a daredevil, I think.
Ey, komm mal wieder rein jetzt, verdammte Scheiße.
Moving on, we're finding some weird drawings on the wall. Whoever put that there. But anyway, weird stuff hanging from the ceiling. But nevertheless, we're proceeding, because we still want to make it to the roof. It's quite an amazing sight, this proves. All these high walls, huge building, holes everywhere, random holes that you could get stuck into, random pipes just there on the floor for you to fall into. Lots of junk scattered all over the place. But we're moving further and further into the reactor building. Moving even further up on these rusty old stairs.
Ich will nur, dass die sehen, dass wir hochgehen und nicht.
Trying to make sure that we're not losing anybody, because that could be a big problem. And another hole in the wall. But the further we go up, the more dirty it seems to be in terms of radioactive contamination.
More dirty here. It's more dirty here.
No?
One count
Oh, good.
per second. But it's still more dirty than the other floors.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's a good view.
oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
There you can see the collapsed crane again. We were standing outside of the machine hall just before we walked in. And here it is again, new safe confinement, and right of it, reactor number 4. And the water with the fish and the seagulls. And the collapsed crane. Anyway, time to proceed. Making our way further up to the first larger goal of this mission, seeing the actual reactor loading bay, which means 30 meters deep pitfalls.
Very careful here. Very careful in the entire area. Be very careful. There's
A lot of
one
holes.
This is the main reactor hall with the loading bay, which we will see in the next video. Stay tuned.
Okay. Just stand here, be silent and listen.